Hey, what is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Build With Me. Today we are doing a request by... One second while I try to pronounce his name. Hey, you're gay? Hi, you're guy? Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this. Please correct me down in the comments below. I feel like I said something that I shouldn't have said right there. I didn't mean it, okay? Anyways. Yeah, here we go. The request was to build a mushroom mansion. I decided to go for less of a mansion and more themed towards mushroom. I don't know the exact definition of a mansion, but I feel like there's a good amount of space in here to fit a mansion type build. Yeah. I really enjoyed this build because of how organic I got to play, or the organic, shoot, I messed up. I love this build because of how many organic pieces I could fit into this one little area. Like all these sakura trees, the mushrooms, custom little tiny mushrooms like that. The back end has a little bit to be desired, but yeah, definitely meant to be looked at from the front. I think this one looks the best. The moment you turn around the side, you kind of get the view of a really thick mushroom. Look at that. Look how thick that mushroom is. Ooh. I should have found a way to separate that part on this side, but yeah. Similar to Green, I only build from one perspective, and the perspective that was meant to be seen from is right here. Ooh, I love it. Yeah. This little waterfall adds quite a bit. But anyways, I should probably stop rambling on and let y'all get to the build. This might be a longer episode because I had to record for an hour and a half straight, I think, to build this. Yeah, not too long, but still long enough that it might make this episode a little bit longer than normal. So yeah, let's get straight to it, and good luck.
Alright then. So when we start this build, we have to pick out our blocks, so I decided to pick out a random assortment of... Well, I don't want to say random, but a relatively similar color palette or tone. I don't know. I went for a bunch of different types of browns to fit in with like a mushroom theme, I guess. By the way, throughout this build, let's see if you can notice this little bit of a pop culture reference that I decided to use for my reference while building this entire thing. Leave it down in the comments and see if you get it right. If you get it right, I'll comment on it and I'll tell you. Well, I'll probably say it at the end of the video anyways, but you know, I'll give you a nice little like, little smile. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so here I am building a bit of a base for the mushroom, and yeah, now I'm building a roof. There's not much to explain here besides the fact that I'm trying to build more organically here. The part was honestly pretty tedious, so I don't think there's going to be very much too much to explain here. Besides, I would recommend working in sections rather than what I'm doing here. I'm trying to build up all the way around to a single point. I'd rather say that you do what I do here, where I build a bit of an outline and then fill in these little sections like this. That makes it so much easier to build organically, in my opinion, because not every side necessarily has to be the same. So you can kind of do it randomly throughout here, and it just kind of works for me. This is my process, at least. Now, for the top of the roof, since I wanted a bit more of a, I guess like a pointy kind of look, I don't know how to explain it. I went for a flatter top, even though it's pointy. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Let's just see it at the end of this right here. Yeah, like that. It's a bit of a mound. That's the best thing I can describe it as. And yeah. But now I want to make sure I have a nice little doorway to make sure that this is a mansion. And yeah, so now I'm placing a chimney in, trying to figure out how to make this building have a bit of life. And chimneys generally symbolize some sort of life inside of the house itself, or something that's been around there pretty recently, at least. There we go. I went for a more organic chimney, similar to the actual build itself. Oh, and now here I am texturing a bit of the building to make it less boring, I would say at least. If everything is the same block, everything starts to blend together and it seems kind of boring. But here I am coming in with terracotta and brick to make it, I guess, more homely. because you won't normally see brick out in the wild, so this definitely brings your attention to the fact that, well, this is man-made. Now, I am putting a little bit of extra green into the moss up top. This makes it a little bit more visually interesting, and I like that overall. Now you may be wondering, why did I build out of moss? Well, that's because I wanted a grass roof like this. Yes, and I would only do the grass after I put in the green terracotta like that, because if I put it in afterward, then it gets to be a little bit, I don't know, more difficult in my opinion. And as you can see, I was playing around with growing some of the azalea bushes and all that kind of stuff. Didn't really like it in the end, so I got rid of most of them. But yeah, here I am testing around with some other things. Right there in the previous section where we saw the smaller tree, that's what gave me the idea of wanting to do a bigger tree here. At first, I wasn't actually planning on putting this huge sakura tree on the side. This came afterward. And yeah, this is what I love about building. It's the fact that I got to test something and then I decided I liked it, so I brought it to the rest of the build. I made a really nice composition, I think, with the amount of curves and like the way everything flows well together. So I think this is a pretty good build in my opinion. Let's see. As I'm building the sakura tree, you can see that I'm building mostly out of wool. Sure, I could have built this once actual sakura trees actually drop in the Minecraft update, but I think I would still end up using pink wool and glass and all that kind of stuff. I feel like this makes it look fluffier, and I like the fluffiness of it. And I decided that that wasn't tall enough, so I decided to go a little bit higher with the sakura tree, and brought it up here. And of course brought out more branches, etc, etc. I wanted to make the actual bushes of leaves a little bit fluffier, so I made them thick, but relatively small in terms of height. They're not really more than 3 to 4 blocks tall, but they're way wider than the branches themselves. I also tried to make sure that you could see a lot of the branches, because if you want a tree to look real, you have to be able to see a lot of the branches, otherwise it looks kind of like a, how would I call this? Cotton candy thing? I don't know. Whatever those cotton candy things on a stick thing are, I don't know. I'm bad with this. Now I'm bringing down some roots to help make this more visually interesting, and of course, to make it more visually interesting, I brought in the curves. I think this is my first time ever doing that, so that was a new experience for me. But I really liked it, so I think I'm going to do it again in the future. A lot of the way I build is a lot of testing and experimenting, and whatever I do in one build, I try to bring into another build if I really like it. Like, for example, these mounts here, like that was an idea that I did with a lot of different terraforming things I've done throughout the years. And every time I've done it, I'm like, okay, what can I do to make this look cooler? Well, let's try this and this. Okay, now what about the vegetation? Let's change some of that up. Yep, it's just a lot of testing and whatever. Yeah, here I can't really explain this. I just kind of learned how to build this way through testing with trees. It's a mushroom, pretty similar to a tree, so why not? It works. And then I also went back through the mushroom and I realized I didn't like a lot of the holes, so I started filling more in, and yeah. It's a lot of... Building in Minecraft is a lot of stepping back and taking a look at your work and thinking, do you like this build? Do you think this represents you? And if it doesn't, maybe try to help it represent yourself. Because it's your build, it should represent your creativity. Now here was me just testing out mold or something. I don't know if it actually grows on fungus like this, but I thought it was kind of cool. I liked the little bit of a gradient. I thought it was interesting. But I didn't like it completely, so I filled it up with some brown mushrooms like this. Yeah, I thought that made it look a lot better. And here I am testing some different mushroom cap type things, and I realized, wait, I can make this more interesting by making an actual, like, what do you call it? Like a flat cap? Like this. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. I usually build mushrooms with the pointed cap because I just find them to be very visually interesting. And that's why I never build these big round caps. However, since this is a huge build, I decided to go for round to make it a lot more interesting in terms of the ground level. And here I am actually filling the underside with some of the other mushroom blocks because mushrooms tend to have like a brown bottom, I think? I don't know. I never really play with mushrooms, so yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was my philosophy here. And yeah, I realized that I kind of want to make the bottom part a little bit more rounded to make it look a little bit more natural, rather than just completely flat. In survival, I would hate that completely, so... Yeah, but now here I am adding another pointed mushroom right here, and I think I add one more? Or do I not? I don't remember. I had some hanging roots just because I thought they were interesting, and yeah, I like that overall. Oh yeah, here I add another tiny little mushroom using walls. Very similar color to the mushroom wall itself, or mushroom block itself. So it was nice. Here's the custom mushrooms with the shroom lights. I decided this would be nice because it was really dark down there. By adding a little bit of light in, it could be more interesting. Now here's a little bit of a door. I thought it was too dark, so I brought in some lights. And I thought that made it a little bit more visually appealing. And yeah, now I'm just adding the finishing touches with some windows. I didn't finish it all since, yeah, I didn't want to do the interior right now. But yeah, just finishing touches, grass. Oh, right, I wanted to add some water because I realized, ooh, this little part up here in the mushroom could be cool for some water. And of course, I thought it was a pretty nice spot for a water feature. Of course, I failed a few times with the water, but I figured it out eventually. And I thought it turned out well. But yeah, now all that's left is to add a path, add some fences along the path to direct the viewers. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I filled in parts of it with some mossy cobble to add the fact that weeds are growing in the cobblestone. And that's about it, besides the fact that I planted some more trees back there. I'm trying to remember what I'm building right now. I haven't looked at this in a few hours. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That should be the end of this talk, right? Come on, end video, quickly. And time-lapse?
Alright then. Okay, here we go. This is the finished build. Here's the Mushroom Mansion, as was asked. And, yeah, I'm honestly really liking it. And, perhaps if you didn't notice what I was modeling this thing after, well, if you look closely right here, I'm gonna try to find an image to fit in right about now. And, you'll see that, hey, guess what? This was modeled after Shrek's house. Yeah. Yep, I know. What a devious play right there. Anyways, so we got ourselves our Sakura tree, etc., etc. Yeah, I'm liking it. This is one of my favorite builds that we've done so far, and we've done a lot, so I'm honestly really happy. Especially with the Sakura tree. I love the way, like, with the curls and curves and whatever. Like, I don't know, whatever it is about this is really satisfying to me. This might be my favorite Sakura tree that I've ever built. Then I think this mushroom cap. I've never actually done a mushroom cap like this before, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. Sure, I don't think that stem right there would be able to support it, but it looked good, in my opinion at least. These shroom lights down here were meant to be mushrooms. Maybe, I don't know. I still have to think about what I'm going to do here, but maybe if I were to just cover them with trapdoors like this, or wait, maybe if I use different trapdoors, like, let's go with the mangrove ones, because these are more red. So it'll give more of like a red mushroom type of look, right? At least that's what I'm aiming for. Oh my gosh, I am failing. Kinda. They kinda look like mushrooms now, but I'll take it, I'll take it. Honestly, I am really happy with the suggestion that was put into place here, because I don't really play around with mushrooms very often. And especially when I get to express myself more creatively with more interesting options, that makes it more fun to build, right? So yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. It helps me out and is free. Love to do that. If you like my content in general, I do quite a bit like this. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah. And if you want to know exactly when I post, hit that little bell. You'll be notified exactly when I post, and you could maybe be one of the first people to watch my episode. Hey, right? That's pretty awesome. I really gotta clear up this clutter behind me, but That's fine. It's fine. I'll do that later. But yeah, the mansion aspect of this was not completely finished, but if y'all want to see an interior, leave a comment down below, and I'll try to get one done. And if I do the interior, that's probably going to involve the exterior a little bit as I try to make it more interesting. But, yeah, so thank you for watching. While I sip my magic water, I hope you all have a good one.